They sure did change it a lot though from the old one to the new one. I think I like the new one better. The old one, I remember it very vividly. You know, it's like, I mean, the old one was definitely more in the spirit of education for sure, because it was like the whole queue was like, this is how cars are built. You know, there's this and that, whatever. There's all these parts and like a museum style stuff to read and all that. And and it's this big long thing, and then you get into the pre-show room, and it's these two people, and it's like hey, welcome to the test track. You know, here's what's gonna happen, and it's like there's all this like hard jargon and stuff like that, and then it's what test should we give them? 2, 5, and 7. 7? You sure about that? Oh yeah, let's see. Oh okay, whatever. And so and you get into the ride. One thing though that I liked better about the old one is that each car was a different color, and I liked being able to guess which color we were gonna get. With this new one, they're all the same. It's all uniform, so that's a little disappointing. But yeah, the track's the same. They changed. Well, I mean, the track itself is the same, but the scenery and all that is different. We'll get to that in a minute. So the main thing about this one is I think it used to be GM and now it's Chevrolet. I think that's correct. Oh, by the way, test track is always the longest wait in the park, so you're gonna want to make a fast pass to this one. I've never seen it under an hour. I think. And also, they're gonna close this if there's like rain within 20 miles. They're really they're crazy about that. So it has to be like completely sunny in order for it to be open. So be ready to be given a rain check on that one. But yeah, so this new way, like you go in to like so the pre-show is now instead of a pre-show, it's a thing where you build your own car. It's like Intervention style, like Sum of All Thrills, which if that was still around, would be easily number one on the list. Um, like how you design your own roller coaster and stuff. It's kind of like that. You design your own car. You have 4 minutes to do it, and I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different options. I think it's really cool. I just want to say here that I think that's a really cool thing to have kids do. It's something creative. It's something fun. It's like a sandbox for them. It's like them playing like Minecraft or something like that. I just think things like that are just really cool to any chance that gives kids the chance to be creative or adults or what I enjoy doing it just whatever gives people the opportunity to be creative. I'm all in for. Um, I'm all for. So yeah. Uh, so yeah, you design your own car for your party, and then you go in, you scan it later, and the ride is a competition. It's a competition of who in your car's car is the best. So there's like 2 or 3 parties per car, so they just compare them. And there's 4 things. It's capability, efficiency. The power is the 4th one. The other one is capability, efficiency. What is that 4th one? Responsiveness. Yeah, responsiveness. So, and then it's the overall winner at the end. I wish it was more competition oriented, but no, it's just kind of a side thing that they seem to throw in at the last minute. Um, so yeah, you get loaded into your car, and they do the seatbelt check and everything, and it's only one at a time going up the chain lift, and you gotta wait for the car in front of you to get a head start. And so you go, and it's like a good 8 to 10 minute long ride. That's one thing about Epcot is they have long rides for the most part. The new ones not as much, but a lot of the older rides they're nice and long, so I like that. Um, but yeah, so this it gets up to the fastest ride in all of Disney World. I'm clocking in at I believe 64.9 miles per hour is what it's been every single time I've ever been on it, the old one and the new one. So if it's something different for you, let me know about it. Also another thing about the outdoor loop note, I would think they would do something like with Skull Island where they can, just close the outdoor part for inclement weather and just have you do the indoor thing. Like, I don't understand why they can't do that for Test Track. Like, no, you have to, like, just because of that 1 minute of the ride, you can't go on it, if there's rain or lightning within 10 miles or something. But yeah, so you go through the four parts of the ride and all that, and yeah, and there's stuff to do at the end too. You can get your picture taken in a car, by a car, with a car, whatever. You can go inside the cars, go into the driver's seat and all that. So that's really fun. You can design your own commercial, so that's cool. That's a thing not many people know about. And then there's also a race that you can have that I'm very confused by. Um, and yeah, it's a gift shop and everything. So all around, it's just a fun experience, and it just goes to show you can have a really fun, engaging ride that's not themed after any property at all. So yeah. All right, number two, and this is an odd choice. I'm giving to the American Adventure, and this one might surprise a lot of you. Now it is closing September 7th, I believe. So I'm not sure when this is going to be uploaded. I mean, if it gives me as much trouble as my Hollywood Studios one did, then who knows? But yeah, this this show, it's a big part of my upbringing. I mean, every time we've went to Epcot, every single time without fail, we've went to the American Adventure. I remember one time we got to the park at like 8 o'clock, and they close at 9, at least 300 days a year, and we got whatever food in the World Showcase, and then we just did the American Adventure, and that was it. But I mean, the one thing about this show is that there's always a 9 o'clock showing. So the shows are every 45 minutes, and they're usually right on time. So it's good. But there's always a 9 o'clock one. So if you're looking for something to really drag out your time at the park, go do that, because it's at the very, very back of the park. It's the last thing. It's the centerpiece of the World Showcase. So it's in the farthest thing it can be, and it's a good half hour long at least. So it's going to be at least 9:30 by the time you're out of that show. Illuminations is only like 12 minutes, so everybody's done with that by 9:15. So by 9:30 it's pretty cleared out, and you're all the way in the back of the World Showcase. Then you have a nice peaceful stroll. It's just nice and relaxing. It's at least 10 o'clock by the time you're at the front of the park. And they have these fountain shows that they do, and they go till well after park closing, and they're at night, and at night it's so much better and everything, especially in the summer when it's light out till 9 o'clock anyway. Um, but yeah, so this show, it just has. I mean, I've seen it so many times that I've memorized the entire script to the show. I'm not exaggerating. Literally every single word, every lyric of every song, every line of dialogue, every movement by the animatronics, like every pause, I've memorized this entire show. I've got it down. Um, because I've seen it that much. I mean, my mother especially really likes it, but just everyone in my family. It's just become a tradition at this point, and it's so sad to me that they're getting rid of it. And not only are they getting rid of it, they're replacing it with a blasted gift shop, as I understand it, which that's like spitting in the face of what Walt Disney wanted. Like you can't do that. I mean, that's like getting rid of the Walt Disney World Railroad at Magic Kingdom or the monorail or something. I mean, you don't get rid of the American Adventure and then replace it with a gift shop. A gift shop, people, come on. And that's just low. That's just low. I mean, I went on a whole big rant. I'm not sure if it was in one of these videos or not, but I went on a big rant about Frozen having no place in Epcot, and you want to put it in Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios, fine, but don't replace the Norway boat ride with Frozen, like all that stuff. Well, this is just as bad, I think. The American Adventure is the centerpiece of the World Showcase. Getting rid of the American Adventure would be like getting rid of the Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios, because it's basically the secondary park icon. So yeah, I'm not pleased about that. But yeah, I'm just sad more than anything, because like now, what will we do now when we go to Epcot? What's going to be the new tradition, the new thing to go to? Um, But yeah, so I haven't really talked much about the actual show itself though, so I'll get into that now. It's just like it's basically the Phantasmic of Epcot, but indoors. So no. Well, actually, not quite. There's no fireworks, but then also there's no live acting or anything on it, and so yeah, strike that. But there's definitely the most intricacy and detail put into it than anything in the World Showcase. You know, the France show, the China, Canada, and then obviously the two boat rides. This one it just blows all of them out of the water. It's nice and long. I don't even know where to begin. So you have these animatronics. There's a decent amount of animatronics. They come up from under the stage. It's an educational journey through time of the American. Is it biased? Maybe, but I'm all right with it. I mean, I just really love the show. Um, there's just so much passion put into it, and there's the animatronics. Let's see, they got Mark Twain and Thomas Jefferson, I think, are your hosts. I think, yes, says the guy who claims to have memorized the entire script. I promise. I'm just tired right now. I've been up for yeah, a long, long time. You don't need to know how long, but I've been up for a very long time. Anyway, so the show, you go in and you sit down. It's the second floor. Oh, wait, we're past that already. So yeah, you get narration. There's a whole bunch of scenes. Also, it's a musical. There's like five different songs in it. They're all really good. My personal favorite, or at least the one that has the most emotional impact on me, is Two Brothers (parentheses on their way). It's yeah. But yeah. So they got all the like they got the animatronics and a bunch of things. There's the lasso guy. There's the Great Depression, the people at the gas station. Let's see. There's the family, the photo with Ma's birthday scene, and what else? Oh, there's the 100-year anniversary thing with the inventors and the activists and all that. And then they got the what's the other one I'm looking for? Yeah, there's a whole there's the guy on the boat with the lantern and all that. So there's a bunch of animatronics in there, but it's mostly on the screen. So they start with I mean it's a whole story and everything. It's an engaging narrative and everything. They got the Revolutionary War on there, the Declaration of Independence, and all of that. And then they got like you know. Oh yeah. What were we saying about knowing everything, Josh? They got like you go through a bunch of scenes, and there's like the Civil War, and then there's the World War I, and the Great Depression, and World War II, and all that, and it's a big long thing, and so it ends. They have this like they have the final musical number, and they have on the screen like it's a montage, basically like a journey through the past, but basically ever since World War II, so like the 70 years, whatever. Um, of like everything that's happened since then and all these famous people and everything, and they add a few in once in a while. Like they have Mark Zuckerberg and the Neil deGrasse Tyson. Obviously, they didn't. They just added those in recent years, so they kind of sneak some in there. But it's yeah, they do a lot with it. You'll feel something during the show. I mean, by the time you leave there, you'll be saying "wow" for sure. Uh, Again, I'm talking about this in future tense. I mean, they're getting rid of it September 7th. That's not too long from now. If you somehow manage to make it to Epcot before then, definitely do it. Try to see if you can see the last show of it ever, because they might have something special for that. 9 p.m. September 7th. Um, Otherwise, I mean, it'll be a real shame if you're watching this and you're like, oh, that sounds cool, and then you never get to see it. Because watching footage of it isn't nearly the same. But but yeah. Oh, I'm thinking of a lot more animatronics now. There's the Native American guy, and yeah, they have Teddy Roosevelt and John Muir and the the people on the horses on the there's a whole bunch. Jeez. But yeah, so sorry about that. There's a hurricane outside. I'm not sure if you hear it or not. To time this, it's a Hurricane Dorian. So yeah, that's a video topic in itself. How that was like really overhyped, and as you can see, I'm just fine. Um, anyway, so yeah, the American Adventure. Yeah, it's a great show. Check it out if you can. All right, so before we get to number one, I'm going to give a shout out to some honorable mentions on here. Club Cool. Club Cool, it's cool, you know? Go there. It's free soda. It's unlimited free soda. How can you go wrong? It closes an hour before the park, though, 8 o'clock, so be wary of that. Um, but there's sodas from around the world. I don't think they rotate them very often. It's been the same the past whole bunch of years. Let's see if I can rattle them off. In no particular order, they are Greece, Brazil, Italy, uh, Japan, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Thailand, and there's one more. Peru? Is it Peru? No. No, it's. I don't know. There's one more. I I must have it. It. I keep almost having it. Anyway, yeah, Club Cool, check it out. Bunch of free soda. You can't go wrong. Bring a whole big container. One thing I did, I brought a 44-ounce cup in there, and the things they give you are like 2 ounces, and they specially design them so that only their cups can fit underneath the things. But I brought the 44 ounce, and I'm like, all right, fine. You want me to fill up the 2 ounce? So I just keep pouring it in there, and there's 22 of the 2 ounce things. And two employees who happened to be on break, I guess, but were in uniform, were right there, and they just stared at me the entire time, and it was a painfully long amount of time, and they didn't say a word, not during, not after. So I guess it's just fine. But yeah. It ended up not making it home. That's a story for itself in and of itself. But yeah, we made it home in smaller portions, like 16-ounce water bottles and stuff like that, on a regular basis. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, Club Cool. Check them out. The fountain show, obviously, it's not even a numbered attraction, but I think it's just really cool, especially at night. It basically, it's the fountain there. Let me think. And Nemo doesn't quite get an honorable mention. Frozen doesn't. You hear that? You hear that? Yeah. Anyway, the World Showcase, let's see. China things, Canada's a little better. France, I'd say, is probably the best of the three. You get to sit down for that one. That's not necessarily why. But, it's a theater. It's the longest one. I don't know. Whatever. I like the World Showcase as a whole. I think they need some more pavilions. Recommendations I would have would be, politics aside, which it should always be at Disney, but they should have Russia. I think would be neat. They should have Australia, which I know they have the United Kingdom, but that's not really very similar. They should have. They should have like Egypt or something. Um, they should have like whatever Antarctica. I don't know. But yeah, they should have more countries in there. I think they were supposed to have more, but like that is a bunch of complications. I don't know, a bunch of boring grown up stuff. But but yeah, I really shout out to food. I really like food. Epcot especially. Epcot wins the best food award of the four parks for me. Um, I'm on a mission to eat from all 11 of the World Showcase restaurants. I didn't quite make it there yet. I've eaten at most of the quick service ones. I don't think I've eaten at any of the. Though I've eaten at the Germany table service. It's a buffet. But but the quick service ones I've eaten most of. My goal is to have eaten at all 11 quick service and all 11 table service. So far, my favorite quick service has been Morocco, I believe. I think Morocco and Norway are probably the two most unique ones because, you can get American food, Mexican food, Canadian food, French food, Italian food. German food's a little harder to come by, but you can still come by, Oktoberfest, etc. Um, Chinese food, Japanese food. You'd be surprised how different those two are from each other. Um, but Norway and Morocco are just the two that stand out to me. Um, but yeah, Morocco's got some good food. Uh, yeah, I just like the World Showcase. Shout out to the World Showcase. Interventions used to be cool, but now it's like they just left the worst parts of it in. They got rid of all the cool stuff, so I can't give it an honorable mention to that. That's about it. All right, let's move on to number one here. Number one, I'm giving a Spaceship Earth. If you haven't figured it out already, it's the thing inside the big ball. It's the main attraction. It's the longest ride in all of Disney World, clocking in at about 16 minutes, probably longer because it stops just about every time I've been on it. It kept the same picture as 1982. It has the same track. I believe that's about all that's the same for it. It's a constantly moving ride, basically like the People Mover, but it just stays at the same speed the whole time. Um, and yeah, so they're constantly letting people on. This one doesn't have too long of a wait. I've seen 15 to 20 minutes. I don't know how, but it's not usually. It's usually pretty much a walk on. Um, so yeah, you get on it. You go do the whole ride. It's a journey through human history, and you might be saying, "Well, yeah, it's a good ride and all, but why is it number one? Like that doesn't make sense. You were so passionate about the American Adventure. How is this better than that?" Because it made sense. It made sense when I wrote the list. So number one, Spaceship Earth. This is like my fourth time doing this. I'm not doing it again. So yeah, I just like it's really immersive to me. I like the it's like the American Adventure meets Test Track is I guess the best thing I could. It's not a thrill ride at all, but still, uh, like as far as that goes. Um, it's kind of a hybrid between a ride and a show. I mean, I know it's a ride. There's no screens or anything, but it feels like a show because of how slow paced it is. There's a narrator that's always way too quiet, and and yeah, you get one thing I find really bizarre is the first scene is like cavemen hunting a mammoth or whatever, and then it gets the narration says it took us 30,000 years to come up with our next bright idea. Like wow, geez, whatever. And so most of it's a journey through modern history, like the past 1,000 years or so. And but they claim it's 30 30, 30 million years. I don't know whatever, but it's not. It's about 1,000, and whatever. It's really immersive. It's really cool. There's plenty to look at. It's a lot of visual stimulation, um, and go up through most of the ride, and then like there's the scene where you turn. They warn you so many times you're about to go backwards and to remain seated. Um, and like there's a little picture of the Earth, and you're at the top of the ball there. You see the top triangle and everything, and then you go back, and the computer lights up, and it asks you a bunch of questions, and you answer the questions, and then it takes your picture at the beginning of the ride, so it loads that too, and it gives you a little thing that's different every time depending on your answers. And the questions it asks you are also different every time too, depending on your answer to the question before it. So that's neat. And it's a whole, it's like a minute or two long, and it's, oh, welcome to the future, or should I say your future? In the future, you will, whatever, and it just incorporates all your answers there as blatantly as possible. Um, you know, so since you like to have fun, you like that's not an actual question, but I mean just like stuff like that. And since you're from Florida, you will be. But wow, wind and rain are having a party outside. Um, But yeah, so go on the ride. It's a lot of fun. You get off. That is a whole bunch of stuff to do there. Project Tomorrow, I think it's called. Whole bunch of fun things. There's a Power Puck game that we play. It's a real hoot. So yeah, that's about it for the Epcot video. Stay tuned for Magic Kingdom. I'm still trying to think though if maybe the American Adventure should be number one and Spaceship Earth number two. I don't know. Whatever. It's too late to change it. It's fine.